Fair enough.
Hello, Adrian.
How you going, guys?
Hey, Ed.
Tell you what, I really can't wait for a contest in cricket this year. It's been terrible. India's just surely been grossly underperformed that anyone would have expected, I'd imagine. They've been horrible.
Yeah, they haven't played well.
And I mean, and the thing with last night's game, Robbo, from about over 8, it became pretty much finished as a contest. Isn't it, really?
I'd expect them to see them go well in the second game, but the one days, I'm sure they'll do quite well.
Based on what, though, Robbo? Not on recent form, surely. And I mean, unless there was going to be a miracle innings by Dhoni and he hit 3 sixes off every over for the last 10 overs, last night's game, really petered out to, a disinteresting event.
Yeah, it's 2020 cricket at times. More often than not, Adrian, you do tend to get a really good marriage and a very good game.
What can we expect from Sri Lanka?
Well, they're struggling financially. They've got money issues. It's causing problems within the camp from what I hear. So they've had issues now for 12 months off the back of losing Matai Muralitharan. And Sangakkara and Jawadina have been trying to pull things together on the back of Tilhara Dilshan being dumped as captain. He had an indifferent, I think, 14 months as a captain. So they've got their issues also. Maybe we just, I don't know, what do we do, eh? Just get out the back and have a cold one and puff our chests up and think this is pretty good.
And just on the copyright laws, surely if a government wanted to win support from the consumers or the public, that they would get in and change those copyright laws and then Graham.
Well, that's an interesting question, Adrian. See, let's assume for a second they cared about their electorate. Well, would they not want to educate them in terms of how, instead of having to pay $140 a month for pay TV, you know that you can plug your laptop into your TV and watch whatever you want downloaded whenever you want?
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever's going to be popular with the public is where if you're one of the governments, one of the parties, you'd want to go with that, wouldn't you? Surely, I would have thought. Find out what the public wants and campaign for that. Changes the copyright laws to bring it into the 21st century.
Yeah, well, there are ministers for communications and all of that, so...
And then finally, the last one, which I put to Robbo the other day, I'd be interested in what Graham and Pappy thinks. If Todd Carney regains the form that he had in 2010 when he was just phenomenal at number 7, that basically finishes rep football for Mitchell Pearce, I'd imagine. We all agree with that, wouldn't we? Fair or not? Because let's face it,
you love it.
Hang on.
I haven't said anything.
Hang on, Todd Carney at the top of his game, Mitchell Pearce at the top of his game. Who's in your side? I mean, really.
Well, see, if it was
New South Wales want to entertain the thoughts of stopping Queensland.
Well, if it was just about talent, the world would be a very different place. Unfortunately, it's not.
Yeah, but that's a pretty valid question. Todd Carney at the top of his game, if he can do the same thing at number 7.
Well, I've just
answered. It's a no-brainer. He's number 7 for New South Wales. I'd be nuts not to pick him.
Yeah. Well, is there any point in anyone answering your question, or have you already got the answer?
You would agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that because when you pick a team, it's not always about a bloke's raw ability, right? I'm not questioning the fact that Todd Carney's got more ability and talent in his little finger than most people have got. No question.
Yeah.
But you don't pick a team on that. You pick a team on character. You pick a team on a whole range of things. So don't think for a second that Todd Carney's ability is all of a sudden going to jump him over a bloke like Mitchell Pearce, because it doesn't work that way.
Okay, look, if it doesn't, well, that'll just be, at the detriment of New South Wales.
I'm sure you would pick him. You would pick him, and you'd have a team that, I'd be worried about him. But hey, give me a team full of character any day.
That was a surprise, but Adrian, you didn't get too much of a different... sorry, mate. I didn't...
I was just say,
sorry.
He regains that form because he's brilliant to watch.
Yeah. I agree.
And if New South Wales leave him off out of the 17, well, that'd be just play right into Queensland hands, which I'll be happy with.
I always wondered about that line, deja vu. I think we just had it.
I was interested to ask you about a triple century, but I won't because we don't have the time. Got to go.
Take care, mate.
See you, buddy.
See you, mate. Bye.
See you, mate.
Yeah, looking pretty stark on the roads this afternoon. An earlier accident through the main tunnel of the M5 still has delays about 2.5